In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a triangular granny shawl, which has the added twist of an inbuilt border along all three edges. This is crocheted as you go, so if you are using a variegated or self-striping yarn as I have for my shawl, your border will line up beautifully with the colours of your yarn. So when making this granny triangle shawl, it's super duper simple. We just have a slight little twist at the beginning and end of each row to create one border, and then right at the very end for your final row we will create a border around your two raw edges. This is a really lovely fun little twist on the traditional granny triangle shawl, which means you'll have this lovely little sawtooth border running around all three edges by the time you finish. To begin, we're going to start with the magic ring and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now into your magic ring, work 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Chain 2, 1, 2, and work 3 more double crochet back into this central ring. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 2 and again work 3 double crochet into your magic ring. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and work 3 more double crochet into your magic ring. 1, 2 and 3. Then to finish this very first round, we're going to chain 2 and slip stitch to the top of your initial chain 3 that you made right in the beginning. So find the top of those 3 chains and just pop a slip stitch. Now you can pull your magic ring closed at the back. I like to pull up a loop a little bit and take my hook out to do this. And then pop my hook back on. Now this may seem a little counterintuitive. We're making a triangle granny shawl, and yet this very first round is a granny square. Trust the process. I promise this will make sense. For row 2, we're going to slip stitch under the next 2 stitches. So we've slip stitched to the top of the chain 3. Now work a slip stitch by literally just popping your hook underneath the top of the stitch, grabbing the yarn at the back, coming through the stitch and through the loop on your hook. We're going to slip stitch into the top of the second double crochet and the third, and into the chain 2 corner space. Then chain 3 and into that same chain 2 corner space work 2 double crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2, and working back into that exact same chain 2 space, work 3 more double crochet stitches. 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1. Then into the next chain 2 space, we're going to work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochet into that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 and into the next chain 2 corner space from your square below, we're going to work that same sequence again. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 double crochet. Trust the process. That is the end of row 2. So what we're doing here is we are forming the outside bottom edge border, and this top section will be the triangle shawl body. So this is the spine essentially that will run right up the middle of your shawl, and these 2 outside edges and this bottom section are the bottom edge border. So row 3 is the pattern repeat row for the main section of your granny shawl. The first thing you're going to do for row 3 is turn your work. We're not chaining or anything, we are just flipping your piece like the page of a book. Then we are going to slip stitch under the last 2 double crochets, so not the one that you have just made, but the next 2, these last 2 here, 2 and 3 in your set of 3. So we're just going to slip stitch under the next 2 stitches, ignoring the one you have just made. So those 2 there, work a slip stitch. 1, 2, and also slip stitch into the chain 2 space. This is how we are going to start every single round from this point on. You're going to turn your work and you're going to slip stitch under the next 2 stitches and into the chain 2 corner space. Once you're in the chain 2 corner space, we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, work 2 double crochets into that same spot, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and work 3 double crochets back into that same very first chain 2 space. Then chain 1 and into the chain 1 space from the row below, work 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. So on the sides we always have chain 1 and 3 double crochets worked into the chain 1 space below, then chain 1. You will immediately be at the next chain 2 corner space, and this is the spine, so the chain 2 spine space, the bit that runs right up the middle of your shawl. Into this chain 2 space here for the spine, we work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets back into that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Then working back down the other side of your shawl, chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, and in it work 3 double crochet only. 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1. Once you reach this other edge, this chain 2 space, right on this outer edge, we work the same sequence as we do in the spine. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet to finish row 3. From this point on, we're going to be repeating row 3 over and over and over. So we turn our work, just straight away turn, slip stitch under the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the chain 2 space. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 2 double crochets into that same chain 2 space, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see along this bottom edge here, we are creating this little spiky border. Then working up the side of your granny shawl, you will chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, and work 3 double crochets into it. Chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, and work 3 double crochets into it. You will do that all the way up, working into every single chain 1 space of this first side of your shawl. You'll keep doing it. Each row will grow by 1 extra chain 1 space. So the row below, we only did it once. This next row, we're doing it twice. The row after will be 3 times, then 4 times. Keep going into every chain 1 space from the row below, work 3 double crochets, then chain 1. Work 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, then chain 1. Right the way up until you get to a chain 2 spot. This will be the spine of your shawl. And into the chain 2 space, we work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochet. Then coming back down the other side of your granny shawl, chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, and work 3 double crochet into it. Chain 1, find the next chain 1 space, work 3 double crochet into it, all the way down until you have run out of chain 1 spaces to work into. Then chain 1 if you haven't already, and you'll be right on the far edge in the chain 2 spot. In that chain 2 space, we work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet to end that row. So keep repeating that row over and over until the shawl is the size that you want it to be. We are already building in a border along this bottom edge, and once your shawl is the size you want it to be, we can then add the border along these 2 remaining triangular edges. So keep going until your shawl is the size that you want it to be. Just keep repeating that last row over and over again. Once your shawl is the size that you want it to be, the very last thing we need to do is add a border to these 2 remaining straight rows. So to do that, we're going to start the same way that you have started every single row up until this point. We're going to turn our work and slip stitch under the next 2 stitches and into the chain 2 space. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, work 2 double crochets into that chain 2 space, chain 2, and work 3 more double crochets back into that same chain 2 space in the exact same way that you have been doing over and over and over and over again to get your shawl to the size that you want it to be. So we start the exact same way. From this point, working along this straight side, this is where we're going to make a pretty border. So working into the chain 1 spaces only as we go along the edge here, working straight into the chain 1 space, work 2 double crochets, no chains, nothing like that, just 2 double crochets straight into the next chain 1 space, 1 and 2. Then chain 2, 1, 2, and work 2 more double crochets back into that exact same chain 1 space. This little sequence we are going to work into every chain 1 space all the way up the side of your shawl. Do not chain, immediately start working into the next chain 1 space and work 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and 2 double crochets back into that same chain 1 space, 1 and 2. Then find the next chain 1 space and do the same again. Work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet all into that same chain 1 space. Work that sequence of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into every chain 1 space all the way up the side of your shawl until you reach the chain 2 spine. Once you reach the chain 2 spine middle section of your shawl, we're going to work into that chain 2 space the same way we have for every other row below, with 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet all worked into that same chain 2 space. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, working down this final edge here into every chain 1 space, work that sequence of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet until you reach the very last chain 2 space. Once you've run out of chain 1 spaces to work into, you'll just be left with that very last chain 2 space right at the end of the row, and in there we're going to work the same thing you have for every other row below, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Then to finish, you'd simply chain 1, cut your yarn, leaving a nice long end for weaving in, weave in any tails you may have, and your shawl will be complete. You'll have this inbuilt little border along the bottom and this pretty matching border along the 2 other sides. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do let me know what you think of this shawl down in the comment section below, and until next time, happy crocheting. Bye!